En ik ben jullie host vandaag voor een heel bijzonder interview met een hele bijzondere acteur. Hij zat onder andere in Breaking Bad. Hij zat in Sons of Anarchy. Hij is niet alleen een acteur, hij is ook een stemacteur. Heel bijzonder levensverhaal. Maar ik wil echt een super dik applaus als ik hem aankondig. Dus ik ga overschakelen naar het Engels. En dan, als ik hem aankondig, wil ik dat iedereen echt eventjes helemaal uit zijn dak gaat. Is dat afgesproken? Utrecht, is het afgesproken? Oké. Okay, let op. So, he was in Breaking Bad. He was in Sons of Anarchy. He is in Heat, one of the best movies ever made, with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. He's in Desperado. You may know him as Machete. So I want you to give him a super warm welcome. The super iconic, mega legendary, Mr. Trejo! Make some noise! Super.
Wait a minute! Hey, now you guys were louder than that for some of them other guys. And I didn't see them in Heat. Now let's hear it! Alright.
Welcome. What's up, sir? I'm glad to have you. I'm so happy you're here. Before we get started, I heard somebody wanted to do something special right now. So there was something that was surprised. I don't know what's going on.
Hello, Danny. Hello,
Eugene.
So are you?
Eugene in the building.
Good, man.
Yes, I got something special for you guys. Also for the playground. I want to know what kind of fan you are from Star Wars.
Definitely.
You love Star Wars or not?
Yeah. I love Danny Trejo in it, of course.
And he's one of my favorite guys. You know, I'm 52, so I go with your movies. And I love From Dusk Till Dawn and all the things you have done. But you know, you're still in the movies and you're doing Star Wars. You are the record keeper. So I know what I have done. You know what I've done today? I made a special action figure from you, the record keeper, and it's a special one. It's wonderful.
Oh, wow.
And also maybe I will get one for you as well.
Wow.
Maybe I will sign it for you.
That's amazing. Eugene, thank you. Make some noise for Eugene. And for Danny Trejo. This is a custom figure of the record keeper. Thanks, buddy.
So I'll keep you up.
Thanks.
I will see you later. See you later, Danny. Thank you.
Thanks, Eugene.
You're welcome, man.
You're going to have to get this signed too. Man, Mr. Danny Trejo, I want to tell you right now, I told you backstage as well, you said somewhere that every good thing in your life happened because you were helping somebody else. And I just wanted to tell you, you've inspired me, helped me. Thank you for decades of inspiration. And everybody, please give him another warm welcome, the legendary Mr. Danny Trejo. We're happy he's here. So.
Hey! All you guys that got him, that was louder than anybody.
So happy to hear you. So we're going to talk a little and then we're going to do a Q&A with the audience. So you were, early life, you were born in LA.
Los Angeles, California.
Yes, sir. In the Echo Park area, if I'm not mistaken.
Right on.
And can you tell us a little something about your early life growing up? Just how was it for you?
A lot of trouble. I kicked out of LA when I was like 13. I didn't play well with others, and they sent me to Texas, and I was supposed to stay there 3 years. I stayed, I left, and I came back to Los Angeles, and then my mom and dad had bought a house in the San Fernando Valley. So I lived there, and I got in trouble there.
And I read your book, amazing book by the way, if you guys can check it. Trejo, My Life of Crime, Redemption in Hollywood.
Right.
Amazing life story. So, because we do not have that much time, I want to skip to how did you get into acting? In the 80s, right? Runaway Train, that was one of the first ones.
1985, I was working as a drug counselor. I'm still a drug counselor. I worked for a place called Western Pacific MedCorp. We detox heroin addicts. And I was working with this kid. He called me up about 11:30 at night. Said there's a lot of blow at my job. And he told me the address. So I went down there, and it was the movie set of a movie called Runaway Train with John Boyd and Jaarbeurs. I walked onto the set, and this guy asked me, "Hey, you want to be in this movie?" And I said, "What do I got to do?" He said, "Do you want to be an extra?" I said, "An extra what?" He said, "Can you act like a convict?" I thought, let me see, I've been to San Quentin, Folsom, Soledad, Tracy, YTS, back of it. I'll give it a shot. I was in every prison in the state of California. And I got hired to be a convict. They gave me a blue shirt. I took off my shirt. You saw that tattoo, told me, "Leave your shirt on." Sitting there with a big tattoo on my chest. This guy comes over and says, "Hey, you're Danny Trejo." I go, "Yeah." He says, "I saw you win the lightweight and the welterweight title up in San Quentin State Prison." And I said, "You're Eddie Bunker." I knew this guy.
Oh, wow.
This guy adapted the screenplay, Runaway Train.
Eddie Bunker did that?
Eddie Bunker.
Because that's a good friend of yours, right?
Well, they had the John Boyd character, the hero, as a guy that killed his wife and went to prison. Now, you can't be a hero in prison if you killed your wife. You killed your boyfriend, you can be a hero. You know what I mean? But not the wife.
Right.
And so he got hired to make it like an American movie because it was kind of a Japanese movie. So Eddie said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "They're going to give me $50 for acting like a convict." And we both laughed because we've been doing that for free forever. He says, "You know what? We need somebody to train one of the actors how to box." I said, "What's your pay?" And he says, $320 a day. And I said, "How bad do you want this guy beat up?" I thought he wanted me to beat somebody up. So I'll do it for another $50. You know?
Because if people don't know, you were a boxer, right? From early on.
Lightweight and the welterweight champion of every institution I was in. That way, sometimes if you start talking to me and I go, because I'm remembering getting hit. You know? But so, anyway, so I started training an actor named Eric Roberts how to box for a movie called Runaway Train. And Eric, bless his heart, he was like a movie star. And movie stars, they're dicks. They really are. They suck. And in 1985, it was still the time where movie stars kind of ran the show. Like, you know, and so if a movie star got mad, "I don't want to work," you go to his trailer and everybody just be screwed.
So that was a whole time.
Eric would kind of, I guess he respected me. You know?
Right, yeah.
Beat the shit out of him. You know, he was training. He would do whatever I told him to do. And the director saw that. And the director was a guy named Andre Kajalowski. It was his first movie in America. So he was having a hard time, like, let me say, communicating with the movie stars. The cast was simple. Because, you know, they do whatever you want to do. But movie stars, they always have like, I have a different idea of this character. So Eric would do whatever I told him. So Andre just hired me.
Wow. And that was called Runaway Train, right?
That was a Runaway Train. Great movie.
Yeah, man. I mean, in that era, you made so many great appearances. You were even in Cage with Lou Ferrigno, right?
Absolutely. I love Lou.
He was here last year.
Oh, God. I used to tease him. I get behind him and yell at him. Because you can't hear. Hey, Lou, turn around. I'll slap the shit out of you. You don't know me. And he's, you know, what did it? Oh, nothing.
One of the few people that can talk like that to the Incredible Hulk is Mr. Danny Trejo. And you were also in Death Wish 4, right?
Yes.
With Charles Bronson.
Yes.
That's crazy because you've been in so many films back in the day, and I think,
Well, Charles Bronson was one of the first movies that I ever had a name, because the first 4 years of my career, I was bad guy with tattoos, tattooed guy, Mexican guy with tattoos. I never had a name.
so that was the first film you had a name in, and then one of the great films you were in was one of the early Antoine Fuqua ones, right? Replacement Killers.
It was what?
One of the early Antoine Fuqua films.
Yeah, it was Penitentiary 3.
Yeah.
I played Severe.
That was so great, and I want
I
to
got beat up. The box, I got beat up by this little kid. It was so cute, right? What was it? Stevie Anton. Stevie Anton. I don't know what he means.
Stevie Anton.
Like a Disney kid, right?
Right.
And it was so funny because he was scared to death. I'm not gonna hit you though.
Wow. I mean, you've got so many stories, but I have to touch on this film. Obviously, literally, I grew up on all your work, and I wanted to say this. You're somebody that can really steal a scene because you have so much emotion and power just with your facial expressions. Like somebody like Al Pacino, I think you have that too. Like,
I love
it says more than some scripts, like what you can say with your eyes. You know?
I did a movie called Heat
Exactly.
with De Niro, Pacino, Val Kilmer, John Boyd. You know, all the biggies, right? And in this one scene, they were talking about, De Niro says, okay, well, what about you? He talks to Tom Sizemore.
Right.
Sizemore did a long speech about why he wants to be a robber, right? And then he has Val Kilmer. Val says the same thing. And then he looks at me, and I go, yeah, of course. I swear to God, De Niro says, you stole the damn scene with 2 words.
Isn't that great if somebody like De Niro says it?
I love him. And it was a great movie.
It was. It's one of the best films ever made. It's one of my favorite films. I've been watching it all my life. Your role is amazing. The things you say, the timing, and just spectacular. And what was it like to be involved in a project with Michael Mann, Al Pacino, and Robert De Niro? Just the whole production.
You know, really funny, there's a story. I don't know how much time we got, but Michael Mann did a movie with my uncle called Jericho Meyer. And they did it in Folsom Prison.
Your Uncle Gilbert?
My Uncle Gilbert. He was in Folsom. And when he went to Folsom, when Michael Mann went to do this movie in Folsom, well, the African American inmates came out and the Caucasian inmates came out. None of the Mexicans, okay? Now, you can't have a prison movie without Mexicans. And so Michael Mann was wondering what was going on, and they told him, well, you got to go talk to the union. You got to go talk to the guys that run the Mexicans. So he had to go talk to my Uncle Gilbert, another Gilbert Tewksbury, a guy, about 4 different Mexicans that basically were the shot callers of the Mexicans. And Michael Mann made good friends with my uncle, Gilbert. And in fact, he paid my uncle SAG wages all the time they did that movie. He'll never copy it, but I know he did. And so, when I showed up on the set of Heat, I was actually, me and Eddie Bumper again, we were the armed robbery consultants. We were showing them how to do robberies.
Wow.
And Michael Mann said, Gilbert. I go, no, I'm Danny. Gilbert's my uncle.
He called you Gilbert.
And we started talking. And the funny thing is, he changed his script 4 times with different names. And then he finally said, you know what, Danny, I cannot look at you without thinking of Gilbert. And since my Gilbert had died of an overdose, right? And he said, can we call you Gilbert in the movie? So if you notice, in Heat, it says Danny Trejo. Gilbert Trejo played by Danny Trejo.
That's your character's name. It's amazing. That's crazy. And isn't John Boyd in that film based a bit on Eddie Bunker?
He's based after Eddie Bunker. Exactly. And John Boyd was in my first movie,
Right.
Runaway Train.
Amazing story, man. And you guys gotta understand this guy. this man has a lot of impact on different sides of the world and society, and I love that. Listen, one more thing about Heat. Is it true that they called you on a day off to do an additional scene, and you showed up in your regular clothing and they kept it like that?
Absolutely. It was one of the actors, I'm not gonna say his name, but one of the actors was out late. In fact, the guys that were dealing crack, right? I know everybody. This guy calls me up and says, "Hey, Danny, aren't you working with Arato?" He says his name. Yeah, what? Hey, that down here, that goes down here trying to score. It's like 2:30 in the morning, right? What? This guy's down here trying to score. I said, "Hey, yeah, well, tell him I said, go ahead." You know what I mean? Well, anyway, he scored, and then he got lost. He didn't show up on the set. Wow. That's why they called him.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
I had the day off, and the first AD called me and said, "Danny, I'm here now. Hey, it's my day off." Michael Mann said, "Come down here now." It's Michael Mann. So anyway, I went down in my clothes, right?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? They go, "Hey." They set up this phone booth, and that was the thing where I talk on the phone booth.
Where you calling Robertino like, yeah, roll on me like white on rice, or like a cheap suit. Yeah, like a cheap suit.
That was so much fun.
Great. So that was Heat. Listen, I'm a fan of the movies, the TV work you did, the book you did, the restaurants you have. I was at Trejo's Cantina. If you ever go to LA, go to Trejo's Tacos and Trejo's Cantina. He wrote 2 books about food. You have a new tequila out?
Yeah,
I saw it on Instagram.
Non-alcoholic. Tastes good too.
Well, I need to try that.
You can drink the bottle and still dry.
That's fantastic. And then, aside from that, you also have a family member within the movie world that you found out about while you were filming, which is Robert Rodriguez.
Robert Rodriguez, second cousin.
Second cousin. Because you are in Desperado, Once Upon a Time in Mexico, and From Dusk Till Dawn.
Dusk to Dawn. I'm in all 3 from Dusk to Dawn. Spy Kids! So, hold on. On 3, I want everybody to yell, "Let's do Machete in space," okay? 1, 2, 3.
Let's do Machete in space. And I agree with that
Send that
statement.
to Robert Rodriguez.
Yes, I agree with that statement.
Yeah.
So, what was it like to work on those films, like the Mexico trilogy?
It was awesome. It was like so much fun. And there was so much happened. It's funny because when like 500 people out in front of this hotel, and they're all like kind of staring. Trejo, because being Mexican, I'm the patron saint of Mexicans down there, right?
Amazing.
Patron saint of gangster. And there's 3 guys on this little mole right there, right? And I'm looking at them, and you know who they are, because nobody's standing near them. You know what I mean? And they're looking at me, and they go, "Okay, thank you."
Yeah, I mean, the culture is so deep and so rich. It's beautiful, man. I was there once only, but I can imagine. But you found out Robert Rodriguez is your second cousin while filming Desperado, and then later on you did Spy Kids with him. Are there a lot of Spy Kids fans here? So, Danny, tell us the best anecdote from filming Spy Kids.
You know what? I gotta tell you something about Spy Kids. You know how people say that like kids are bad to get in the movies? Daryl and God, the little girl.
Spy Kids, come on, guys.
The little girl, come on, don't forgive me.
Michelle.
Anyway, those 2 kids were so unbelievable and so professional. It was like scary because Alexa Vega would do her scene, everybody would cheer, and she would immediately pick up her little brother because it was her turn to watch it. You know what I mean? It's like, ain't no movie star in our family. And it was like, and to this day, she's still working, 2 beautiful children, they live in Hawaii. I just finished a movie with Daryl. He's still working, got a little baby, They're just great, great kids.
That's fantastic. You guys stayed in touch?
Oh yeah.
Wow. You made so many friends. I mean, Art Shaw became a friend of yours, right? Art Shaw.
Yeah.
He was the guy that was like, yo, you gotta start a restaurant.
Him and De Niro's still. Well, actually, my son has got De Niro's cell phone. I don't even have.
Is that your son that directed the movie, right?
That's my son, yeah. My son directed me in a movie called From a Son. And it's going to Sundance, I think. And I think it's probably the heaviest thing I've ever done. Because in it, I had to cry. Because it's about a son that dies of an overdose and his dad has to go looking for him. You know, and my mom always used to say when I got in trouble in the middle of the night somewhere, she would wake up. You know, she would automatically wake up and knew that I was in trouble, and an hour later she'd get a call from jail or something else. And that's the way he starts the movie. You see him dying and me waking up.
So this is the first time you cried on screen?
Yeah, because he kept, I wanted to cry, you know, like John Wayne. Okay, children. All right, we're kind of mad. But he kept showing me baby pictures. Hey, Dad, remember this? Hey, oh, wow, remember? And so I'm, yeah, man. So when it came down to the night, it was we're in the desert, it was cold, and Sasha, the little girl that was his girlfriend and that actually buried him, I asked her, did you kill my son? And she said, no, I loved him, he was my only friend. And she thought, I lost him. There was nothing manly about this cry. No, this was a Buddha cry, all right? This was like, and I couldn't stop.
Beautiful though.
Oh, unbelievable.
And your son did that? I mean, that's amazing. That must have been an amazing experience.
And then, yeah, well, I wanted to sock him afterwards. Afterwards, he goes, nice acting, Dad. I go, that's what you did. He was awesome.
Great. So obviously we gotta talk about Machete. That was Robert Rodriguez as well. Anybody likes Machete? Yeah. So there are two films, and I love the fact you were just saying, make the statement about the third one, because I want to see it as well. But what was it like to do the first one, the Machete, the original one?
Well, you know what?
The Grindhouse trailer, right?
When we did Desperado, that was the first one. And all the people, like nobody knew Antonio Banderas. You know, everybody knew Selma. And actually, if you want to know the truth, the studio didn't want to use Selma because they had Antonio, and he has got that the Spanish accent. Did I drink you? You know, that Spanish very, I don't know. Uppity, I call it uppity.
Okay, right.
You know, uppity. Yes, my love. And then Selma had an accent. So they were doing the accents, blah, blah, blah. So Robert refused it, but then I don't want to do it if you don't want Selma. So thank God he got Selma hired. Because that was really the kickoff to her career. And she was amazing. I couldn't tell you anybody else that was in that.
Right, so and in that film, that's actually where we see you toss the knives for the first time.
Everybody kept approaching me and wanted pictures, and Robert kept, hey, they think you're the star of this movie. I said, well, so do I. What are you talking about? Idiot.
Classic, wow.
And that's when I found out he was my second cousin, so I told him, okay, make my part bigger.
And that's how that idea was born.
And he said, you know what, I've got this story, it's about this federal that fights with Machete. And I thought, okay, when do we do that? So we just kind of talked about it, and then we did Spy Kids. And Robert said, hey, let's call this guy Uncle Machete. Remember?
Right.
Spy Kid, Uncle Machete, Spy Kid. And then when we did Grindhouse, then we did fake trailers. Everything that's in that trailer is in the movie.
Exactly.
Because when we came out of Grindhouse premiere, everybody was saying, you gotta do Machete.
That was a smart move, but yeah, Uncle Machete, that was in the game too, wasn't it? In the video game?
Yeah, and kids are still watching it.
Wow. So that was before the trailer, then the quote-unquote fake trailer, and then Machete was born really as a movie. And do you prefer the second part or the first part?
Well, I love the first part simply because I had done Heat, and when we asked Robert De Niro if he would be in Machete, he was, yeah, let's do it. And it was so funny because we're doing Machete, and I would always tease Robert De Niro, right? When we were on Heat, I go, you, number one. We had two call sheets. We had a call sheet for the bad guys and a call sheet for the cops, because they were separate. So number one. So when we're doing Machete, I ran into him, I'm looking at him, and he goes, hey, you. When he said that, I said, can I get you some coffee, Mr. De Niro?
That's still Robert De Niro, but that's an amazing.
I don't care, it's still Robert De Niro.
Yeah, right? Wow. So yeah, the difference between acting and voice acting, because he is also in King of the Hills.
King of the Hill, I was on Jasper in a cartoon.
And Rick and Morty, you're in Rick and Morty as well.
Rick and Morty, I was Jaguar. I was Diablo the Pirate in SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh, wow.
Boots and Dora the Explorer, and I was somebody else.
And also, you are in Star Wars in the Book of Boba Fett, right?
Oh yes, yeah.
Book of Boba Fett. You guys like Star Wars?
Yeah.
So I was really enjoying your scenes. You showing up all of a sudden in such an iconic environment, being an icon yourself.
You know, Boba Fett, I worked with him before. Me and him did 6 days, 7 nights with Harrison Ford in Hawaii. And you want to talk about a guy that's in shape.
The Jeremy Bullock guy?
His name is
who plays Boba? Right, I forgot his name too. Come on, who plays Boba Fett in the Book of Boba Fett? Say it again. I know who you mean though.
Anyway,
you lose me. We know who you mean.
This guy can start running on a Sunday. And
Was it Lawrence McCory? No. Okay, anyway, yeah. So that guy is super in shape.
He was done running on Sunday and Tuesday. I mean, God, great shape.
And what is it like for you after having done like over 300 movies and all of a sudden, I counted them last week, it's 325 movies or something?
I stopped counting at 10.
But then you're part of the Star Wars universe. Does that like impact your career in some kind of way still?
You know what? I just gotta tell you that Star Wars movies now are the future of movie making. It's so unbelievable. I was blown away. I mean, you know, my son was with me, and he was like explaining everything to me. You know, I know my lines and don't bump into the furniture. I mean, find your light.
I mean, that's another addition to the Danny Trejo legacy. It's amazing. I love the fact you're in Star Wars as well. And so, I think we got some time for some Q&A moments, some questions from people in the crowd. If you have a question for Mr. Trejo, if you want an autograph or a picture, we do it in the guest square, so no other questions about that. But I'm just hosting the Q&A. Ask him anything about Machete or any other of his 324 films. And he's right here.
Speak clearly.
Speak clearly. Hi, eerste vraag. Hey.
Hi, Danny. Big fan. Love to see you in Star Wars. Was sad to see you go so quickly because we only seen a few scenes. I have a question because you have done so much films. What is something you'd like to do what you haven't done before? Like a complete different character that you want to play? Or
what do you got? Write a movie, I'll do it. You know what? My agency gets like 15 scripts a week. They go through them, they'll give me 2. You know, and say, you know, what do you want to do? And I'll look for how much is paying the most. And then which one I kind of like, you know, and that's what I'll do. Because to me, it's a job, you know, it's a job. Whatever job you got, it's the same thing. It's just, I just gotta act, I guess, you know. You gotta really do work.
So write a movie and get back to us. Natalie, he has to get back to us. Okay, next question. Hi.
Hi. How are you? What's the question? Did you ever take anything from set?
From what?
From the set? Did you ever take
Did you bring home any props from any set?
Any
Spider-Man's for example?
You know what? I gotta tell you, I probably got 200 machetes that people have sent me. I got machetes from all over the world.
Wow.
I got one machete that was made from what goes around the world.
What, a satellite?
A satellite, yeah.
A machete made out of satellite material. Wow.
So, no, I've never, well, usually like, if they got a nice leather jacket, I'm wearing it.
And let me tell you a cool story. I have the Nike sneakers that he wore in the film Fanboys, and he just signed them for me. The actual ones he wore. That's great.
Yeah, they were cool. Thank you.
Next question. Hey.
I would like to ask, what movie would you give your life for to star in again?
What movie would you give your life for to star in again?
Yes, basically the last movie ever.
Oh, so what would be the last movie you could ever make if you only could make one more movie? What would you want to star in?
My life's starting all over.
Hey, are you wearing something from Breaking Bad? Is it?
Yes, I got some meth for it too.
You got some blue sky, crystal meth sky blue, is it? I mean, you guys, you gotta give them a round of applause for the role you had in Breaking Bad. Thanks, man, thanks. Tortuga in the building, hola dia. Gift from the Dutch crowd. Thanks. Thanks.
Famous actor arrested in blue stuff.
All right.
Hello. You made an appearance on RuPaul's Drag Race. I was wondering what that was like.
What? Can you say that a little bit slower and more clear?
An appearance on RuPaul's Drag Race.
RuPaul's Drag
I
Race.
love that. Yeah, RuPaul is so cool. Let me tell you something. I'm doing a show. My daughter calls, right? Hello, hi Daddy, what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing this show with a bunch of gay people. What do you mean? I don't know. Hey, what show is it? And my daughter heard it said, RuPaul. Dad, why did you call me? It's my favorite show. Oh, wait, hold on. I gave RuPaul. She was mad at me. And they started talking. And so sweet. RuPaul is so sweet. Okay, well, let's have lunch. Okay. Go. So that was awesome, man. So,
Thanks.
thank you.
Next one.
Hello there. Spy Kids was my childhood, so if there is going to be a Spy Kids spy, would you be there?
Oh, yeah. But I think they just did a Spy Kids, but I think it's all with the kids. I'm not sure what he's doing.
Thank you. Thanks, thank you. Next question. Let's try and get as many done as we can.
Hi. How did you experience the heat weapon training?
The weapon training for the movie Heat?
We did. Well, you know what? Let me tell you something. Robert De Niro, we actually went up to the sheriff's training area, sheriff's training thing. It's a Pistol Center, which is where the sheriffs train. And they have this obstacle course, right? And I'm watching Robert De Niro run this obstacle course, right? Good, right? And then I said, I'm gonna kill his time. I was like, oh, I'm gonna kill his time. Oh yeah, I got it. I'm gonna make Robert De Niro look bad. And then he came around and he goes, I'll do it once more. He took off again. And I said, yeah, later for that. I'll just sit here. Because you great shape. But we did training, we did weapons training, did everything. It's so funny though. They wanted to walk into a bank with a gun and know how it felt. And Michael Mann said, he said, I know how it feels. So they actually walked in with a gun.
Oh, right, you told Michael Mann.
They weren't loaded. I told Michael Mann, I already did it. Hell no, I don't want to do it.
Great, man. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you too. Next question.
Hello. So I know you mostly play like serious roles, but I loved you in Brooklyn Nine-Nine as the father of Rosa. So I was wondering how you liked it and playing with Amy Sands and all that.
You know, that was fun. I'll play any role they give me. And I'll be a treat. Just give me more money if you're going to put fruit on me. You know what I mean? But it doesn't matter to me. I'll do whatever you got. If I like the movie, I'll do it. The only thing that I do, I make sure that there's at least 3 or 4 Latinos in that movie. You know what I mean? It's like, I won't, you know, it's like, because we got to spread it around.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Next question.
Señor Trejo, buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Which has been the most difficult production you participate and why?
I'm going to have to say that my son's movie, From a Son, was the most difficult thing I had to do because I had to act like my son had died, you know, and right now I got to say my son is in the DGA, you know, he's a director and we're getting ready to do some films together.
Wow.
Gracias. Gracias.
Thank you. Thank you
too. Thank you so much. Hi.
From all the movies that you've done, which movie did you like the look of your outfit the most?
Say that again?
From which movie did you like your look, your outfit the most?
So what was your favorite outfit in all of the movies you played? Which outfit did you like the most, right?
Machete.
Hey, Machete, everybody make some noise!
You know what? I gotta tell you something. One of the proudest days of my life was after we did Machete. And it was Halloween. And I opened the door for the trick-or-treaters. And they'd be dressed as Machete. Little Mexican mustache. Trick-or-treat, who are you? I'm Machete. Which is like so unbelievably honored for me that they liked that. It was just awesome.
Wow, great.
Thank you.
So it is Machete. Next one.
How was it for you to see your own head on a turtle in Breaking Bad?
Very affordable. No, let me tell you.
Very affordable.
They had to pay me like 3 days before I even got on set. But they had to make that head. So that was this and
Right.
So
They had to make the face head. So yeah.
I almost made a bunch of money. I did before I even got on set. And then I got paid. So I'm thinking, damn, because at first we did the first part, the head part at first. And then that movie, that episode was #1 for their episode. So they brought me back to do the first part.
So originally you were only going to be featured as the head on the turtle.
And then
they wrote you in there. Wow.
And you know what? I was in London. I was doing a Comic-Con. And this guy comes in and said, would you sign our tourist? I go, yeah, I'm a tourist. Like, they won't let us bring it in. I said, what are you talking about? So I walked outside, yeah, a tourist is big.
A big turtle.
And they paid me a lot of money. I just signed it and put Hola DEA on it, you know. But I thought it was just unbelievable. What are you a tourist that big?
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we got 5 more questions probably. Let's go.
So, in Breaking Bad, the scene we're talking about,
before. How did your family react to it when they saw it?
How did your family react to the turtle scenes?
They thought, wow! Right, you know what, it's funny, okay. The only scene my family did not like was the scene in Heat.
Right.
When I died in Heat. My mom couldn't watch that. Nobody. They couldn't watch that. And like, what are you talking about? You guys see me die on a pool table, my eyes rolled into the pool pocket.
From dusk to dawn, yeah.
And they said, yeah, but that's the way we expected you to die.
No, that's a serious thing.
You know, that was heavy.
That's deep, yeah.
So, you know, because that's all we did. We robbed and stole and dealt drugs before I got into the movies.
Wow.
It was so. I love it when somebody says, what did you do before you were in the movies? Armed robberies.
But listen, I gotta say, thank you.
Thank you.
I gotta say though, I have a lot of admiration and respect for how you flip your wisdom and knowledge, because people want to know a lot of stuff from you. I know about the American Me story that you're writing about in the book. You know, it's just, you have so much value, man, to add to the world, bro.
I go to juvenile halls, I go to high schools, I go to prisons, I still talk. I talk about staying clean, staying sober. I talk about education is the key to anything you want to do. Alcohol and drugs will ruin your life. Still, that's my message to the young kids.
Fantastic. Yeah, give that a round of applause. We got a couple more questions before we wrap it up next one.
Hi Danny, did you like to play star in the Call of the Dead game? Call of Duty?
Say that again?
Back in the day, there was Call of the Dead. Did you enjoy
Call of the Dead. Call of the Dead.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah, that was, you know what I started doing? The first one I did, the first video game I did was Death Race or something. I forget what it was.
Death Race.
I don't know. I hated the Haitians. That's all I know.
2007 or something?
It was I don't know, the old one.
Call of the Dead. So you love that, though?
Yeah, I love Call of the Dead. Call of the Dead, Escape from New York.
Wow. That's another great one. Thanks. Final two questions?
Hey, Danny.
Okay, three questions. Let's go.
I love your work, but which movie is your favorite? Robert De Niro's Taxi Driver or Al Pacino's Scarface?
What's your favorite movie, Scarface or Taxi Driver? From those two.
You know what? Scarface. I hated Pacino's accent.
Why?
Because it was just so far off. I never heard Cuban talk.
Wow, so you didn't like that because of that?
Yeah, you know what? It's like, I think there could have been a lot of Cubans to play that, but I'm not offended. It's just like when there was a great movie. It was called Viva Zapata. It was about a Mexican hero that helped win the revolution. Only problem in the movie, it was who played that?
Viva Zapata.
Who was the Godfather? Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, wait a minute, you know what I mean? You know.
So it's somewhat of a miscasting?
It's a little bit, yeah, I think so. But, you know, I mean, that's the money.
And Blood In, Blood Out though. That was a good one, right?
Blood In, Blood Out, all Mexican.
Yeah, well, that was a well executed film. Thanks. Thank you. Okay, last two questions.
Did you have to do a lot of extra training for machete, or did you already have the perfect body type?
No, I was already strong enough to kill, what's his name? What did I kill him? Machete.
We didn't kill him, Machete.
You didn't kill him.
No, I'm the only guy that killed Steven Seagal on camera. That's awesome.
Yeah, hey. You were in Marked for Death too, right?
Marked for Death, yeah.
Thanks. Last two questions.
Hi, Danny. Is there a specific character or film that holds a special place in your heart? Because I personally love Rondo from The Devil's Rejects. Yeah. I'm a big fan from Rob Zombie movies. What's yours?
Rob Zombie's a good friend of mine.
He wants to know, is there a character you play that you hold dearest to your heart? His favorite is from the Rob Zombie film.
I loved Rondo, he was cool. You know what I mean? And I love when he was talking about the cockroaches. That was kind of cool. And you know, I kind of just get into all the characters. I don't think there's one that I haven't loved. You know, like, I think it'd be tough to do a character that you didn't like.
Right. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Thanks, man. Okay, the last question before we wrap it up. Final question. Hi.
Why your name is Machete?
What? Say that again?
¿Por qué tu nombre es Machete?
Machete, porque peleo con machete.
Hey, best question. Make some noise for the kid. Hi. Thank you. Thanks. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We got to wrap this up, but not before we do this final little video with the crowd. Hold on, Mr. Danny Trejo was in the building. Take the time. Yeah, hold on. So, Holland. Okay, yeah, so first we say, Machete kills in space. And then we continue. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm right here with the one and only, the super iconic, Mr. Danny Trejo. We love you, sir. Machete kills in space. Thank you so much, Danny.